Hello everyone and welcome to Encore's Music Show with me, Mariam Saab, coming up. Born in Martinique, French jazz pianist Gregory Privat has music encoded in his DNA. His father, Jose, is a self-taught pianist for the well-known Caribbean band Malavoi. Classically trained, Gregory turned his hand to jazz and improvisation during his teens. Nominated for the French version of the Grammys, the Victoires de la Musique in 2015, for Jazz Revelation of the Year, he's now scaling new heights with the Gregory Privat Trio's album Family Tree. Gregory, I have to say, sakamache. I'm testing my Creole. How was that?
Oh, it was pretty good. Yeah,
Perfect,
yeah.
pretty good.
Yes, yes.
How are you? What is that?
Yeah, it's how are you? Yeah, yeah. Sakamache, saufe. You can say saufe also.
My French counterpart, Amobi, who hosts the French music show, taught me that one to share with you today because you're actually from Martinique. You were there until you were 20 years old.
Yeah, I spent all my childhood there, and yeah, I'm from Martinique. Yeah.
And you've just come back now from Japan. You had a big tour of Japan. What was that like?
It was very amazing. You know, it's you know, we had a great time in Japan. Such a great audience, and you know, especially the food is amazing also. So it was a great trip.
One thing that really surprised me is that Japanese jazz is a really, really big thing. It's a big part of pop culture over there. Did you find that the audiences reacted well to your music? Did you get a sense of that?
I think that Japanese people are really into jazz music, and yeah, we saw that when we were playing. They are very sensitive people, very respectful for the music, and it was really enjoyable, yeah, when we play there.
You're playing in Paris this week at the New Morning, Gregory. Is it different playing for audiences, let's say, in Paris and Tokyo? What's the difference there?
You know, I think there is, of course, a difference of audiences, I think. But I try to be really the same person, you know. I try to be honest to the music and what I do. So for me, it kind of doesn't matter, you know. I try to be into the music and be, yeah. I think that's the word, very honest with myself and with the music.
Well, it must be nice, though, to bring the music that you've been sharing back home. Let's get an earful of that. This is a little something from your latest album, Family Tree. Take a listen. That's an excerpt there from your latest album, Family Tree. Talk to us about your roots in music. How did you find the piano, Greg?
Oh, you know, the piano, of course, came from my father. You know, my father is a big fan of jazz, and he's a piano player. He plays also the organ, you know. And since I was a child, I saw him play, and, you know, for me it was kind of very natural, you know, for a child to see his father playing.
And he's a self-taught pianist as well.
Yes, he's a self-taught, and that's why I took lessons with another teacher, you know. But I think what it gave me was a passion for the music, and I think it is the most important thing when you play an instrument, to be passionate when you play music.
Was there ever any another option, or it was always going to be the piano? Had to follow in the footsteps of Dad, or was it also within your own soul?
I think my father was the main explanation for that, because, you know, I couldn't think about another instrument. It was really the piano, you know. I couldn't make another choice, you know. So for me it was very natural. As I said, the piano was still
initially you followed a very classical path.
Yeah.
And then you took a turn for jazz.
Yeah.
What drew you to jazz and improvisation specifically?
You know, yeah, as I said, my father was still playing a lot of jazz in our home, so I guess that's, you know, it had to came sometime, you know. So, and when I was in secondary school, I think I really wanted to know how to improvise, how to make my own music, to compose. And I think this is yeah, I would like to understand the essence of music, you know, chords, and of course how to understand maybe the theoretical thing about music, you know, harmony and everything. So for me, you know, jazz is kind of a freedom process into the music. You know, in classical you just read the charts and you play. In jazz you can imagine, you know, your own world and try to transcribe it into music. So I think for me it was a kind of a challenge and kind of something very, very, very interesting for me.
We're talking about understanding the theory and the technical aspect of things. You do have to handle that in order to deconstruct it.
Yeah.
Improvisation, how does it work? You sit behind the piano and then what? Do you empty your mind? Do you clear that space and then you just let yourself go completely?
Yeah, but no, it's not like, you know, you can't. It's not like you come to the piano one morning and you say, okay, I'm going to improvise and I'm come to compose. I think for composition, for example, I think it come. You are not prepared. You know, it come like that, and you have to write something very, very, very quickly to not to forget what you are thinking about. And for improvisation, I think you have to be, of course, as you said, it's very. It's kind of a concentration, and even I would talk about meditation. For me, I have music is my link with spirituality, I think. So for me, improvisation it's like telling a story with the music. So I would say that improvisation is like kind of telling a story.
And your story has resonated with a lot of people. Like, you were nominated for Best New Jazz Revelation at the French version of the Grammys. What's been your greatest personal or musical revelation in the making and or performing of this album, Family Tree?
You know, for me, what was important for this recording was to be able to play as a trio. You know, you have to know that for a piano player, having a trio is very important for a jazz pianist. And so having a trio, but still being honest to my own traditional roots, my own traditional culture from the Caribbean and from Martinique. So I think this was a challenge for me, trying to make something really very kind of a trio from today, you know, very actual, but still with my own roots. Yeah.
Well, speaking of awards, we're just talking about your nomination at the Victoires de la Musique. The 60th edition of the Grammys is just around the corner. Let's now throw the spotlight on a few of the big nominees to kick off our music news of the week. The most celebrated artists this year are Kendrick Lamar, Bruno Mars and Jay-Z, the American rap legend, leading the pool with a whooping 8 nominations. Out in front for the ladies, SZA has nods in 5 categories for her breakthrough record, Control. It's a career high for the R&B singer. At one time, she felt she might never reach the top. Plagued with self-doubt, SZA begged her label boss to hire writers for her album Control. His response was, "You don't need him." Well, he was right. Now, the Grammys are not just about picking up a golden gramophone, but also putting on a great show. Pop, rock, hip-hop, country, and more. This year's lineup cuts across the scale. Rihanna, Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, Pink, and U2, to name just a few of the big names taking to the stage. Now, speaking of U2, the Irish rockers have rallied against President Trump and the Ku Klux Klan in the new video for Get Out of Your Own Way. The track appeared on Songs of Experience, U2's 14th studio LP, which came out last year. They're also coming through with the Experience and Innocence tour. On the back of dates in the US, they're heading to Europe this summer. Here's Get Out of Your Own Way.
The amorous, the glamorous, a kiss, a fist, listen to this song. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. I could sing it to you all night, all night. If I could, I'd make it all right, all
Next, British art rock crew Django are back with their third studio record, Marble Skies. The Mercury-nominated group named the album while staring up in awe at a stormy sky while they were at the Lollapalooza Festival in Chicago. They're taking the songs on the road with the US tour and key dates in the UK and across Europe. Time for some music now. Django are burning up the dance floor with the banging new single, In Your Beat. Take a listen. And finally, British electronic music with Nightmares on Wax is out on Warp Records with Shape the Future. We're going to leave you with a cut off that album, his most collaborative and orchestral to date. Thank you very much for joining us, Gregory. How do you say goodbye in Creole?
Oh, you can say Aplita.
Aplita.
Yes.
Thank you. Everyone, do check out Family Tree. It's out now. Remember our website. Connect with us on social media. Do stay with us. There's more news coming up here on France 24 right after this. This is Shape the Future. Take a look.